And we're back. Action. David Queen, Fred Weaver. How's it going today, guys?
Good, man. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I think we got Fred speechless. He can't believe that David Queen and the BPM network has made the move to eXp Realty. So first of all, David, on behalf of myself and Fred, Curtis Johnson, and quite frankly, everybody else at eXp Realty, the other 16,998 people, welcome, man. We are so excited to have you and your network at eXp.
Yeah, thank you, man. We're all excited.
I'm only speechless because, David, this has sort of been like a dream of ours. Like, you and Kevin and I got together a couple years ago, and we sat down and we were like, hey, is there a way that we could all work together? And we opened up each other's financials and we looked at all the money and we were like, is there a way we could partner together? This would be a lot of fun to blow up expansion together. And we just couldn't ever find a way to do it, right? And then, Kevin and I, in June of 2018, last year, about 9 months ago, made the move over to eXp. And you were one of the first guys to call us, right? And congratulate us on the move and ask us about it. And now here we are 9 months later and and years later, and we finally have a way we can partner together, collaborate together, grow together, make money together. And we didn't have to merge our P&Ls and start a brand new business.
Yeah, man, I'm way excited for that too, because I know I wanted that back then when we talked about it. And like, this actually gives us that platform, man, where not only we can work together, but we can provide more opportunity to others too.
Yeah, man, there's no doubt about it. That was one of the things that Fred and I saw in this opportunity when Curtis Johnson first brought it to us last summer, was the fact like this is really cool for us. Like, for Fred and I, we obviously love this. We have a lot of fun, but we've never been able to have such an amazing opportunity to help other people take advantage of outside of basically buying and selling real estate, right? And running our teams the way we always have. And this just sort of opens things up. And it's the cherry on top is to be able to do it with your friends and do it with the people that you're already enjoy masterminding with and sharing ideas with. And, like getting how many times a year for the last, I don't know, however many years, probably since we met, David, have we found ourselves in the same room for a day, for a couple hours, for a couple days, and trying to help each other's business. So to be able to do this in a more formal fashion for me is kind of like best of both worlds, man.
It is, man. I know. I agree. I know we spent hours on the phone just collaborating and helping each other's businesses just as favors to each other. But now we can actually do it in business together, which is awesome.
Yeah. So, David, I think what everybody wants to know is, why did you do it, man? I mean, you run an incredible team based out of Kingman, Arizona, cover Lake Havasu, Bullhead City, Arizona, also have some agents and have expanded your team into Las Vegas, Nevada. But why'd you make this move?
Man, there's multiple reasons, and I'll just name a few of them. I know one of our goals is, like, our team is build, motivate, prosper, the BMP network, and we want to help build others, motivate them, have them live prosperous careers and lives. And with this platform and business model, we're able to do that so much faster, and we can scale it so much bigger and actually help people build their business. So like there's an idea of having like the team within the team business model that I've always kind of tried to figure out through my old brokerage and was never able to do it. And with this model, I can actually do that. And I can help people build their team, build their business, and I can be like their platform for that. And we can grow everywhere now. So like, there's really no limits for us of where we're going to go next.
That's awesome, man. So what's the response been from your team members so far? What's the response been in your market over the last 24 hours since you changed your cover photo on Facebook and your world blew up with text? What have people been saying, man?
Everybody's asking questions, man. My phone has been on the charger all day. So everybody on the team, first of all, everyone on the team is super, super excited, because now, like, the vision that we've had together as a team, like, I look at my team like they're my business partners. So like, we communicate on a high level, like, they don't work for me, we work together. And when we got together and started talking about an opportunity with this, they all jumped on board right away, because they saw how they could actually go build and thrive with this, right? Like, there's no ceiling, no limit for them. They're not just a buyer's agent or a seller's agent on my team now. There's so much more opportunity together. And so they're all excited. So many other agents in the area have reached out asking why we did it. And it's actually made me stop and start writing down everything so I can just send it to them, right? So like, I'm hoping they're all watching this video so they can kind of get a glimpse, but there's so much more involved. And I'm so excited to share that with all of them too, because I do feel like this is probably the only company that somebody could actually join and have this opportunity with that's in existence today.
That's awesome. You go ahead, Kevin.
No doubt about it. Something I wanted to say was, Dave, if you don't mind me sharing, you had a pretty unique experience, right? Because you had a team member, a former team member, I should say, that someone who was on your team. You guys had a lot of success together, and then you found yourselves not in business. And then what happened after that? Like when the news of this move came down, like what's happened since then, David?
Dude, so one of my favorite people that we've had, she's a close friend. She was part of our leadership team. She decided to make a change and left the team, I think, back in August. And we had kind of, about a year ago, looked at eXp around the time you guys did it. And when you guys did it, we started looking at it even closer. And she was real excited about it at that point. And, she had some conflicts and things that changed in her life where she decided to step off the team. We stayed friends. And after we've made the change, she's on board and she's coming on board with us today, actually back onto our team to help us go build the team and grow the team in multiple locations. And so she's super excited, and I'm really, really, really happy to have her back a part of BNP Network.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing that story. Your team hasn't even been at eXp for 24 hours and you're already growing. Like, that is phenomenal. Tell us a little bit more about your expansion and growth plans, man. Like, I think you've got some big things in store, some things that have sort of been maybe on the back burner. You hadn't figured out how to maybe execute on them at your old brokerage. Like, what's that going to look like? Where are you going? Where's BNP Network going over the next year or two?
Yeah, I'll share some of that with you. So with growing since we've been here, man, I mean, we've already hired that agent we spoke about, right? She's coming back on. We've hired another agent. We actually signed up with another one in Lake Havasu that's coming on board there. So it's going much easier, and people see the value so much more to join us here than our previous brokerage already, because not only are they joining our team, but they're joining the ability to go grow their business in multiple directions. And so our plan is in the previous years, what we ran into a lot of problems with our previous brokerage, where when you get a group of really good real estate agents, they join your team, you want to create more opportunity from them so they can stay with the team, right? And so the company has to grow bigger to where they have opportunity to move up. So we would hire, a team leader for each location that would manage the team and recruit and lead and motivate in that location that they're in. And then we'd have a regional director, right? And so those people are still limited to their region or their city, their location, their team. And with this business model, man, we're able to say, okay, once you're what we're calling an experienced agent, and you can now mentor and guide agents in sales training and transactions, we're going to give them the ability to grow their team within our team. And we're going to do that, across the entire nation in Canada, to where we can instantly put agents on our team and put them through our onboarding systems and through our training and through our transaction system that we built. And we can support and help those people at any location, anywhere, and actually at a little bit cheaper cost too. So everyone wins overall, every direction.
That's awesome, man.
There's no doubt. There's so much I could talk about here, David. One thing I want to say is you mentioned your transaction system, because you've built out something really cool. I've been really fortunate enough to kind of see under the hood of the stuff that you've built out automation wise over the last year or two, and especially with what you've tweaked in the last 6 months and really turned up the heat on it. And we probably don't have time to go into all that today, but I want to talk about that. But the other thing I just want to say, man, as something I've always appreciated about you personally as a leader in the time that I've known you, is I've been fortunate enough to not just spend time around you personally, but your team and other agents that were around you, and the level of bought in to the BNP network and the vision for where you want to take it and where they also want to take it is so cool. You may or may not know, Dave, but I've spoken to many of your agents over the last few days. I mean, not like they're new to me. I've known them for a couple of years, some of them, right? But over the last couple of days, and all I keep getting is excitement, and we're so pumped to be doing this, and we're 100% on board. We trust David, and not only do we trust David, if he wasn't coming, we'd go without him, because this is amazing. So I think that's just a testament to you as a leader, man, because you started in this business as a buyer's agent, and you thought you would be on someone's team probably your whole career, and then you found yourself in a position where you had to go be the leader yourself. And you've done that with such a high level. I super appreciate that about you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
So tell us some of the stuff. So without, giving away all the secrets, if you will, but so you mentioned like some of the transaction stuff, like, so you've been able to automate some of that. Like, what has that done for your business, and how do you see that helping with eXp and your expansion going forward for BMP Network?
So our transaction system that we built, we're actually launching the new version this weekend. So we've upgraded it, and our old version, if you talk to Stephanie, who's our transaction support manager, she's told me that what used to take her a full day now only takes her 15 minutes. So not only has it saved her a lot of time, but now she's been able to take on other tasks and activities in order to help our agents and support them. But now the agents also get value because of all the automation that happens with it, right? So all the clients and everybody stays in communication, all the holes are filled, there's nothing forgotten ever, and the client is followed up with forever automatically, even if an agent was to forget. So we filled all the holes and gaps where, where most agents want to say like, oh yeah, I do that, I do this, but really we're human, we all mess up and we forget things. And so we have this system in place now to fix that for us, to where we can actually excel at a high level and actually handle a higher volume of units. When we decided to like sit down and like make the plan of what our transaction system was going to look like, we were like, okay, we want to grow into have a system that will help us grow into having 400 units a month. We thought really, really, really big, right? And we're like, what transaction system would actually remind us and manage that to where we can do that without hiring hundreds of people, right? So we built it, and then we're actually upgrading it, and it's been amazing.
That's awesome, man. One of the other things I love about your organization, a lot of us say, and Kevin and I are a little guilty of this, man, like we say we're good at these systems, and I think we have some good ones. You have some really good ones. We say we're good at generating leads. One of the things I've seen, though, man, is you really do have some very unique lead generation things that you've done in your market. And knowing, I don't know intimately Lake Havasu, Bullhead City, and Kingman, but I know that they're much smaller markets than Phoenix, Arizona, as an example. And you found yourself really coming up with creative, unique ways to generate leads in those markets and to generate them at a lower cost than most people. And you're generating leads that are converting at a higher level than most people have ever experienced with lead generation. So I just want to give you kudos for that. But I also want to say I'm excited to see you be able to scale that model now through the eXp network, right? And be able to have people in different cities and different states across the country and maybe the world someday that are utilizing some of the BMP tools, not just transaction management, but also the lead gen models to continue to grow your business, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, David, go ahead and finish that thought.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying we're crazy excited, and I appreciate all those comments. Yeah.
One of the things I want to point out, because you live in a smaller town. You definitely don't live in Phoenix, right? And you definitely don't even live in Vegas. I know you operate in Vegas, right? And but like 250 transactions this year is what you're tracking for. And that won't be the first time you've hit those kind of numbers. That's big market share when you start talking about the size of city that when you talk about Havasu and Kingman and Bullhead, where you primarily operate, in Vegas, of course. I mean, those are some really big transactional numbers, man. And to see that you've done it with the efficiency on the back end is something that is just, it blows me away. So when I see a guy like you, I'll never forget when you called me after we made the move, and because I respect your opinion so much, Dave. Like when you told me hey, we had the talk that we had. I'll just leave it at that. And I thought, okay, cool. If David is kind of signing off on our decision here, I don't feel as crazy as I might have felt a couple hours ago, right? When I told the world I was going to this relatively still seemingly upstart, even though it's not, eXp Realty. So share with us, Curtis Johnson had a question about, you seem to become more valuable as soon as you start exploring eXp Realty and committing to that. Was there any sort of tug back at you to kind of stay with your previous brokerage? Was that just emotional, or was that like an actual real life thought that you had about like, maybe I should stay?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I hesitated for the past year, and I put it on the back burner, and I was happy where I was. It's a great brokerage, great people, loved working with them. They were like family, right? And so like everyone always thought I would be the guy to never leave. And so I actually looked into it, put it on the back burner, stayed comfortable and just stayed right where I was at. And then months later, started looking at it again, started taking it a little more serious, started actually running numbers. Man, we built spreadsheet after spreadsheet to run all the different figures, right? And we finally look at that together and we realize, okay, there is more opportunity. And not only more opportunity just with our team currently, but more potential and opportunity to grow and expand and scale our business the way we really want to. And so we finally decided, okay, we need to consider it. And in the midst of considering it and talking about making the transition and the move, I was very transparent with everyone. And, because I do care about the people. So I did get offered to, talk about our transaction system with the old brokerage and, move on out there and show it to them and see how maybe I could provide value to them to use it somehow or collaborate on that. And it sounded like it might have been like the deal of a lifetime to me, and it made me stop for a minute again. And I thought, okay, maybe I should go listen and maybe I should do this. But then when I really looked at it and I realized I could just take our systems and tools and our transaction system and the technology that we own and created, and I could just provide more value to our team and to the people that, we bring onto the company to help them exceed and do more production. And doing that, to me, is going to be more valuable to people, and I'm going to be able to actually help them better their lives rather than just plugging my system and handing it off to somebody.
That's cool, man.
Absolutely.
Well, appreciate you sharing that. And I know, as Kevin already kind of referenced, and if you want to say anything to that, you can, but I know you do have lots of great relationships with your old brokerage. I know you hold them in high regard. I know, in fact, you kind of excitedly tried to share what you were doing in hopes that maybe, you didn't want to leave. You were trying, is there a way we can all go type of conversation, right? Like, which I respect about you, because it shows that you do care about people and that it's not just about a model decision for you, but you would like as many people as possible to work with you under the new model if they're. So the other thing I respect about you, man, is that, you looked at this model. You might have looked at it more seriously than Kevin and I, before Kevin and I. What would you say to somebody that's maybe looked at this but hasn't pulled the trigger? And then what would you say so two questions here, and then what would you say to the person that's never looked at the model before? If
you've never looked at it, you need to get in touch right away, because I've already got everything done and I can share it with you. And
all the spreadsheets?
Yeah, I've got it all. So if you've never looked at it, if you're hearing this right now and you've never looked at it, you're hearing something of extreme value. And don't hesitate, man. I hesitated way too long because of my comfort, and I really wish that I wouldn't have, because I've heard the saying before that once you start looking at something and you haven't acted on it, the decision's already made. The action just hasn't been taken yet. And so for me, my decision in my head was probably made a long time ago, and I was just trying to stay comfortable where I was at. I wanted to, everything was happy and good, but really for me to hit my goals of what I want in my life and my career and for the people around me, this was what I needed to do. And I wish I would have done it sooner, to answer your question. Yeah.
Dude, guys, and I know we got to wrap up, and it probably just sounds like I'm just gushing about David, but I got to say this. Like, I remember one morning about just over a year ago, I was driving to Tucson, about an hour and a half from home, and I called David, and I got on the phone. It was like 5:30 in the morning, and we talked the entire time. And one of the things that, not just to share that we have like hour and a half long phone calls, but like the thing is that I constantly get from David is he's always going, how do I do something more to create more for those around me? What's the thing I can do so my team members have a bigger opportunity, so my family has a bigger opportunity, so my friends have a bigger opportunity? And Dave, you're always the first guy to pick up the phone and call me and say, dude, I started doing this and here's what I got. And I think if you tweak this in your system, you might experience something the same, right? You're always willing to share, and you always come from a place of abundance, man. And that's just something I also appreciate about you. But I hope someone listening to this goes, you know what, I think like that too, and I want to be around people like that too, because you're exactly the type of person that other people like that would want to reach out to and be around, quite frankly.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're just a class act, buddy, and I appreciate you. I'm so excited to now have this platform and this format and this model and this company, eXp Realty, to collaborate and grow and work inside of. Like, to me, it goes back to what I said at the beginning. This is like a couple-year dream come true, and I'm just excited that we're here and we now get to do it. I want to let people know out there, like, how do they get a hold of you? How do they find out all the stuff you didn't get to tell them today, all the excitements you have that we don't have time for? How do they reach out to you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, you can send me a direct message here on social media, or you can email me at david@bmpnetwork.com. My cell number is 928-530-3283.
Awesome. Right. This is cool. Well, dude, I can't wait. We got to do a recap on this a month or 2 or 3 months from now, because I'm like, if you've already added 2 or 3 team members and you barely moved this week, then I can't wait to find out how many more team members you've added and what your growth looks like a couple months from now. So promise us you'll come back and share how eXp is treating you a few months from now and what your team's loving, and just be open, kind of do a review, so to speak, of your first 90 or 100 days at eXp.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So David and Fred, I know you got to hop off. David, if you've got one other thing, any last parting shots that you want to share before we get running today?
No, other than, I really appreciate you guys and how open you guys have always been. I know we mentioned how we talked previously 2 years ago and we didn't get in business together then. And I want to just share with everyone else the way you guys handled that, and we stayed close, and you continue to provide value into my life, into my business, even though we didn't do that, and now we're here today. I think that's a huge thing for people to learn that a lot of people don't realize is very important to do. And so I appreciate you guys for that, and thank you for everything.
Dude, appreciate you right back, brother. Love you. Love being in business with you, and so excited for this next chapter for all of us. And for everybody else there in Facebook and podcast and YouTube land, don't be afraid. Please reach out. David is one of the kindest, most giving people you'll ever meet, and would love to help you with your business and chat about business and whatever else he can help you with. So feel free to reach out. And of course, Fred and I will do the same. And David, Queen, and the BPM Network, officially welcome to eXp Realty, man. We are so freaking happy to have you guys with us.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for tuning in today and joining us. For more information regarding eXp Realty, would like to invite you to one of our Discover the Truth of eXp Realty webinars. You can find that information at kevinandfred.com/truth. Again, that's kevinandfred.com/truth. Thanks so much. Create yourself a great day.